If Adam and Eve had only 2 sons, as many believe, then who was Cain's wife? The Bible mentions that after Cain killed his brother Abel, he went out and met a woman and had a son. But where did this woman come from? Is it possible that the Bible omits important information? Could God have created another race or a second marriage apart from Adam and Eve? What was the mark that God placed on Cain's forehead? All this and more we will explore in this video. Let's get started. Invitation and purpose of the video. Hello, may God bless you. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I invite you to subscribe to the channel right now. I'm sure you will learn a lot as we cover very relevant and interesting topics about the Bible and Christian life. So press that subscribe button and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. This topic is extremely fascinating and has generated numerous debates and speculations. However, we focus on what the Bible teaches because it is the Word of God, infallible and the absolute truth. Biblical foundations. To begin, it's essential to establish that the Bible teaches us that we all come from a single race. In Genesis 3:20, it is mentioned that Adam named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all living. Additionally, God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it." Genesis 17 verse 26 reaffirms that from one man, God created all nations to inhabit the entire earth. That is, every man and woman who has existed descends from the first marriage composed of Adam and Eve. Responding to the theory of Lilith. These verses firmly support the idea that all human beings descend from Adam and Eve, dismissing the theory that Lilith existed before Eve. If you're interested in me addressing the topic of Lilith and her connection to feminism, let me know by giving us a strong like. If we reach 10,000 likes on this video, next week I promise to cover that intriguing topic. Cain's wife, arguments and evidence. So if all of humanity comes from Adam and Eve, then who was Cain's wife? The simple answer is that she was a relative of his, likely a sister or niece from his own lineage. Let me present 3 solid reasons that support this theory. First argument. It's a mistake to assume that Cain and Abel were the only sons of Adam and Eve. The Bible does not specify that they were the only ones. It simply mentions them initially due to the significance of the first murder in history. Additionally, God gave Cain a son named Seth to ensure the lineage through which the Messiah would come, about 4,000 years later. The absence of other names does not imply that they didn't have more children. In fact, Adam lived 930 years, and it's likely that Cain and Abel were already adults when the events occurred, suggesting that they could have had other siblings. Second argument. The Bible shows us that God initially allowed marriage between brothers and close relatives for human reproduction. For example, in the case of Noah and his family, after the flood, only Noah, his wife, his 3 sons and their respective wives survived. Noah's grandsons had to marry each other to repopulate the earth again. Another example is Abraham, who married Sarah, his half-sister. These examples demonstrate that in the early times, marriage between close relatives was an accepted practice to ensure the continuity of humanity. Third argument. When Cain killed Abel, God cursed him and protected him from being killed by others, saying, "Whoever finds you will kill you." This indicates that there were already other sons of Adam and Eve, as Cain feared for his life. If he were the only son, he would have no reason to fear being killed by others. Conclusion of the arguments. These evidences suggest that Adam and Eve had more children besides Cain and Abel, which allowed Cain to have a wife from his own lineage. This explains how humanity could expand from the first marriage. Changes in God's laws on marriage. It's important to highlight that in later times, especially during Moses' leadership, God established laws that prohibited marriage between brothers and close relatives. This was done to avoid genetic and social problems as the human population grew. From Moses' law to today, the Bible condemns incest, reflecting a progressive and perfect revelation of God's will for humanity. Final reflection on Cain and Abel. When Cain killed Abel, God cursed him and protected him from being killed by others, which shows that there were already other sons of Adam and Eve. If Cain had been the only son, he would have no reason to fear for his life. Closing and final question. What a fascinating topic, right? That's all for today. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Also, I have a question for you. What was the name of Cain's son? The answer is in Genesis chapter 4, verse 17. So let me know in the comments. So, a big hug, and see you in the next video. God willing.